Hey everyone, so I just wanted to give a real quick review of the new YouTube algorithm. I freaking love it. Now, I am posting this on a channel where I am a creator and where I hope eventually to monetize. Though that is not my main monetization strategy. But as a user, so point of that being that I cannot comment on how the algorithm may or may not be affecting content creators, but I imagine it must be. But I expect that that will be in a way that will all even out in the end, and that it will be to the good of everyone if it keeps working the way it is, and if they can find ways to passively reinforce what they're doing here. As a user, for the first time that I can remember, it is not pinholing me. It is not narrowing me. So the idea of a preferential algorithm, and what I also like to call the curatorial algorithm, is that it observes your behavior and then adapts what you see in the best way it can with whatever synthesis of information it can gather from your behavior, right? So that's going to be what you watch, what you search for, where you comment, the kind of words you use in your comments, which videos are you clicking on, which ones are you clicking out of quickly, how long are you watching, etc., 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 etc. And all of these things will have been weighted with code to mean more or less within the synthesis in order to provide whatever you're getting. That is essentially how you want an algorithm to work. Now, I don't think most human beings are only interested in watching videos about the one thing that they happen to have watched the first video about that day, right? And to give you a frame of reference, my interests go all the way from fail army stuff to the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni thing, to true crime, to hoarders, to mental wellness content, to psychiatric content, to personality and dark personality content. So, talking about narcissism and identifying behavior, essentially identifying and observing patterns of human expression that seem to have a kind of universality to them. It all fascinates me, and just kind of seeing how these play out in real examples, and when they catch the mood of people from everywhere, and you start to get kind of this wide array of people from all stripes and whatever talking about the same thing. And, people, oh, that means it's positive. No, that's when it's not, right? Okay, so I'm not going to get into that. Point is, I love this new algorithm. It is showing me normally all I see is three things. And it's always going to be the stuff that has these really, really misleading titles. It took me a while to stop being irritated by it, because eventually what it is I want to see the clips that these people have, because I don't want to go watch the whole thing, because I can't watch a lot of the entire news shows that they take them from, because it's just mind-numbing. They think you're so stupid. Now, I don't think, clips out of context are a good idea, but they can give you a starting point, and then I can go and read things instead of having to watch people say them, right? That's I can't stand it. I can't watch them do it. I can't, they just lie to my face, and it's just so much more irritating than when they lie in print. Don't ask me why. Anyway, probably a human thing. Humans and faces, right? There's a kind of automatic facial recognition that humans have that's really quite cool. For the most part, of course, exceptions to every rule. Anyway, point is, love this new algorithm. It's showing me a huge variety of stuff, and it seems to have kicked in about 3 or 4 days ago. I'm seeing like in my, except for my news feed in Canada, which has just been literally 8 stories in a row that feature the word Trump almost every single day, and more so whenever the Canadian government does something or doesn't want me to look at something else, it feels like. But point is, every other column is showing me like a huge variety, and that's never happened before. It was always pinholing me. I felt it pulling me into this rabbit hole. It's actually, I think there was a whole podcast that kind of talked about how someone got slurped right into this rabbit hole algorithm that they have, and how certain personality types, I think, are more susceptible to it. Anyway, regardless, the pinholing seems to, and when I say it was pinholing me, I had to work very, very, very hard to get different content. I'd be refreshing every 2 minutes. I'd constantly go away. I'd say, don't recommend me this channel. I'd start actively searching for other stuff, or I would just leave the app altogether. By the way, yes, they will absolutely be factoring in when you leave the app and don't come back for a while. Somewhere in the algorithm, like, don't be confused. This is minutia level analysis of behavioral engagement. And anyway, maybe they've introduced an AI element to it. I don't know, but I'd really like to see more of this, because what's happening is I'm watching people kind of touch on, let's say, one of the things I'm interested in, and then I end up watching the whole show, and they say some stuff that is way outside. But what's interesting to me is always the comment section, right? Because, and what I'm seeing is people commenting that are obviously having different political views, different cultures, different everything, right? I'm seeing, anyway, all I can say is maybe AI can save social media. if that's what this is. If this is some kind of AI integrated, like updated, maybe closer to frontier, maybe not, I don't know. I'm not sure what they're doing with algorithmic AI, but regardless, whatever integration they've put in place, if that's what I have to assume that's what they've done, because it's just, it is markedly, I would suspect everybody sees it. I have a tendency to see patterns in kind of more subtle presentations as well, but in this case, it's quite marked, and it's fantastic, and I really hope other people are having the same experience, and I really hope that they continue to sensitize the algorithm to kind of broadening out from your total interest. You know, like, people go through phases where they might get really obsessed with something, right? Like, the story's active, it's live in the news, and it's really interesting. And maybe you will be watching a lot on that particular topic for like 3 days, 2 weeks, maybe, who knows? But that shouldn't kind of overweight the previous 3 or 4 years of watch history, right? So you've got to really, anyway, I like it. I'm interested. I'm curious. I think it's going to be great. And I hope it continues.